Our continuing focus remains on the latest coming in from Afghanistan, where an uneasy calm prevails over Kabul. In the latest that we have been getting to you, the president of Afghanistan, Ashraf Ghani, has left Afghanistan. This, as we've been getting you those latest updates through the day on how the Taliban terrorists had entered the outskirts of the Afghan capital. Earlier, it had emerged that they wanted a peaceful transfer of power in the next few days, quote unquote. But as for the latest that's coming in, while we do track the outcomes of those power talks, which will emerge over the next few hours, as of now, the president of the country, Ashraf Ghani, has left Afghanistan for Tajikistan, is what we have been getting in through our correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, who's now joining us live on the broadcast. Siddhant, over the last few hours, we've been telling our viewers of how the worst fears have come to life. With each passing hour, the situation seems all the more precarious for the people of Afghanistan. With Ashraf Ghani now leaving Afghanistan for Tajikistan, as you've been reporting, what would this mean for the next few hours, for the next few days? What lies ahead? What happens next? What more do we know at this point?
Well, as of now, Abdullah has issued a statement. I am just listening to the statement, and he basically is giving more details about the situation in Afghanistan. We can confirm that the president, Ashraf Ghani and Amrullah Saleh, both have left the country. It has been a dramatic day in Afghanistan, having a lot of regional repercussions as well. In fact, India is bringing its nationals as well. It's a process which has been continuing for a while now. A plane is about to land here in Delhi. Air India flight is going to land here in Delhi. But largely, we know that as of now, it looks like that there will be a government, a transitional government in Afghanistan, a government which will be in a sense having elements of Taliban. A major element could be from Taliban. We are trying to get a contact with Sohail Shaheen on what next on the situation, but it looks like it's an end game. Formally, it looks like the Americans will be gone soon, and we will have a new Afghanistan in terms of the governance. But there is a fear as well. Will there be a return of 1990s? That is the biggest worry in front of everyone right now, and that is why we know that international community has been saying to Taliban that there should not be any violence in terms of capturing the power in Kabul. And that is why today, when the Taliban was on the gates of Kabul, it never crossed the boundaries in terms of through violence. There were, of course, few Taliban fighters in the city, but formally the city never fell into the hands of Taliban, because Taliban knew the biggest worry was that if it tries to capture Kabul through violence, it will never get the legitimacy it was very keen to get. We know that it was made clear to Taliban by international community. In fact, India had led a United Nations Security Council meeting earlier this month, in which the international community sent out a message, a single point message, that if Taliban tries to capture power through violence, then it will not get the legitimacy. But other than that, we know that when it comes to the entire situation on the ground, the biggest worry is that situation should not lead to violence, especially when it comes to minorities, women, and a reversal of the gains of last 20 years, which nobody wants. And that is why we know that there is a certain kind of fear that will the gains of last 20 years in terms of rights of minorities, women, will be undone by Taliban or not. It is still to be known yet. It is too early to give a formal judgment. We have seen that areas which are under Taliban occupation have seen a little deterioration of human rights. There have been refugees camping in Kabul. There have been people who have been seeking visas of various countries, including India, because they fear for their life. In fact, I have been getting a lot of calls of a lot of journalists who have been keen that they would like to have Indian visas and they would like to come to India. But so far, it is a really dynamic situation. India is, of course, closely monitoring the situation as well on what is happening on the ground. But we can expect certain comment by the international community, perhaps by next 48 hours.
Right, Siddhant, we've also been telling our viewers with each passing hour about the swift territorial gains that have been made by the Taliban all through the last few days, all through the past week, and giving them a broader sense of how rapid this transition has really been. Taliban were standing at the gates of Kabul. They wanted a peaceful transition of power. Ashraf Ghani has now left Afghanistan. This seems to be absolutely going as per the demands and the plan that was laid out by the Taliban.
Well, yes, of course, the plan of Taliban was, of course, ultimately to come to power in Afghanistan. But so far, they are not in the government, but they will be perhaps in the government. It's now the question of time as to when they will be in the government, formal in the government. What will be the governance structure? Will there be, in a sense, when it comes to women's rights, women going to offices, women going to educational institutes, will that be allowed under the Taliban governance system or structure is the big question. In fact, we are getting reports, these are still formally to be confirmed, but we are getting reports of how in Herat women students are not allowed to attend universities. But it is too early to judge, because Taliban has been very keen to show itself as a political structure, which is willing to work with the current global governance structure, an Afghanistan which will see rights of everyone. So perhaps we'll get to know by next week the entire scenario when it comes to the Taliban governance system. But nonetheless, the Americans are leaving. Afghanistan is going to get a new government, a transitional government, and the regional community, the countries in the region, whether it's Tehran, Delhi, Moscow, Beijing, they are waiting for what next in Afghanistan.
Indeed, a lot of uncertainty at the same time when it comes to what the future holds for the people of Afghanistan. Their fate continues to hang in the balance. In the latest, Ashraf Ghani has left Afghanistan for Tajikistan. That is the big development that we are getting to you. As Siddhant Sibal is telling us, this is a confirmation that has come just a short while back. There was speculation earlier that Ashraf Ghani would be leaving for the United States. Siddhant, if I can get to you on this. Amid the advancements that have been made by Taliban, a lot of speculation was doing the rounds. We've only been putting out to our viewers the confirmation that has come in, but at the same time, a lot of speculation about where Ashraf Ghani might be headed. Now, we do know that he's headed for Tajikistan, but at the same time, earlier it was reported that he could also leave for the United States. Do we know more about, from here onwards, what next for Ashraf Ghani, what next for Amrullah Saleh?
Well, yes, there are speculative reports that he might go to United States. We really do not know the final destination of Ashraf Ghani, where he is going. But it looks like that there is a formal confirmation by Abdullah that he has left the country. Dr. Abdullah in his Facebook statement is confirming that he is the former president of Afghanistan. Now, that's a big development that is coming. Dr. Abdullah, who is a well-known politician who has been leading the talks with the Taliban in Doha, is now confirming that he has left the country, calling him the former president of Afghanistan. Big day for Afghanistan, and not only big day for Afghanistan, it's a big day for the region as well. This is a complete change. Rarely in world we see geopolitical changes overnight, but this is something that everyone was looking in a sense that it was expected to happen, but nobody could have guessed it that it's going to happen so fast. It's going to happen in mid of August. It has defied all assessments by the global community, because the assessment was that that the entire military offensive by Taliban might start towards the end of August, when the final troops of Americans will be leaving. But it has happened early. It has happened very dramatically, and this of course is something that not only has raised eyebrows but also a sense of anxiety in the region over what next, who is going to form the government, when it looks like the Taliban will be formally in the government. And this is an Afghanistan which of course has been known as the graveyard of empires. It has lived up to its name. We saw this century the Americans leaving in a not so good way. We have seen eerie visuals of how the Americans left in Vietnam and now in Afghanistan. And last century saw the Russians leaving Afghanistan, and before that the British leaving the Afghanistan after the Anglo-Afghan war. It's part of the folklore of Afghanistan, and truly today is the day when Afghanistan has in a sense lived up to its name when it comes to the situation on the ground. An official confirmation has come that Afghan president has left. New Delhi, of course, will be of course keenly watching the developments, but formally perhaps any comment we can expect in next few coming hours and perhaps days.
Right, stay with me, Siddhant. Just a quick roundup for our viewers who might just be tuning in. Fast-paced developments coming in from Afghanistan. Ashraf Ghani has left the country. As our correspondent was just telling us, Abdullah, who has been heading the High Council for National Reconciliation, has now referred to Ashraf Ghani as the former president of Afghanistan. Local media reports saying Abdullah has asked the Taliban to allow some time for talks before entering the city of Kabul. He has said that Ashraf Ghani has left the country. This is a crucial statement coming in from Abdullah, asking the Afghan forces to also cooperate in ensuring security. Vice President Amrullah Saleh has also left Afghanistan. Meanwhile, tensions have been on the rise, and a lot of speculation doing the rounds about what next for Ashraf Ghani, also what next for the transition of power and the power negotiations that have been underway. But all said and done, with Ashraf Ghani now having left Afghanistan, that is a sign of things to come, and a crucial development marking a huge shift in the way things have panned out over the last few weeks. Over the last few hours, as we've been telling you, Taliban have made rapid territorial gains. They were earlier on the doors of Kabul, waiting patiently, as per reports, for a quote-unquote transfer of power. The Taliban had claimed that they will not be taking over Kabul by force. Just hours later, we had the confirmation that the president of Afghanistan has left the country. So has the Vice President Amrullah Saleh. And now Abdullah, in a very crucial development, he has been heading the High Council for National Reconciliation, has been among those at the forefront of these talks, has now referred to Ashraf Ghani as the former president of the country, and also has said that Ashraf Ghani has left the country. Siddhant Sibal, you've been getting in the very latest, also monitoring what India has to say at this point. We are awaiting a statement, as you said, over the next few hours maybe, or days, from the Indian government on where things stand and how they are viewing these developments. We've been keeping a very close eye. As far as the evacuation of the Indian embassy in Kabul is concerned, what is the latest that we have at this point?
When it comes to the Indians in Afghanistan, the Indian mission has been giving advisories. It has been an ongoing process. It's not like evacuation has started overnight. It was a contingency India was prepared for, and Indians have been coming. In fact, over the last few weeks, India was able to bring its engineers who were stuck in a dam, the India-Afghanistan Friendship Dam in the western province of Herat. And we also know that all non-essential diplomatic staff is also expected to come back. We do not think that India is going to close down its embassy. That is the view from Delhi. But there is more developments coming now. Taliban has issued a statement as well that they're going to enter Kabul very soon. This statement has been just been tweeted by the spokesperson of Taliban. Also, which is coming, the development is multiple confirmation now reconfirming that the president has left, the vice president has left in the last 10 minutes. I've got multiple messages from Kabul, from the Afghan government. We perhaps might be saying it as a former Afghan government, who are confirming that the development has happened. It has been last 1 hour, has been quite dramatic in terms of the confirmation of the Afghan president leaving. Nobody perhaps would have thought about this day coming so soon, but it has come. The reality has dawned on the global community, including United States. Today, everyone was waiting for bated breath that will Kabul fall on 15th of August, and it has indeed fallen to Taliban today. Historic day for Afghanistan. Remember, Afghanistan celebrates its Independence Day on 19th of August. That was the day when the Afghans had an agreement with British in 1919 on the British influence leaving the Afghan government, and it has been over 100 years since Afghanistan has been independent. It will be marking its Independence Day later this week, but this will be a new dawn in Afghanistan. But what kind of dawn it will be in Afghanistan is the big question, because many are worried about the situation on the ground. What will happen on the ground? The next big task will be on the civilians, the Indian civilians specifically, and about the Indian diplomatic staff. What happens to them? We have seen public announcements by the Americans, by the British on they bringing back their diplomats. We have also seen Canadians saying that they are going to give asylum to almost 20,000 Afghans. These Afghans are Afghans who are vulnerable to perhaps atrocities. These are women, these are activists who could be targeted by Taliban. But now we know that there are worries mounting over the Afghans still there, especially journalists. As I have been telling you, I have been getting multiple messages, and most of these messages are from journalists from well-known major channels in Afghanistan who have been saying that their life is under threat. They would like to come back, they would like to come to India and seek a refuge. Right now, of course, there has been no public statement by the Indian government on whether they will be given a refuge here or not. But remember, India was a second home for many Afghans during 1990s. In fact, families of top leaders of Afghanistan, when it comes to Hamid Karzai, when it comes to Dr. Abdullah, they have their families here in Delhi. So perhaps Delhi could see an increase in Afghan community coming here and getting refuge. India could give them long-term visas, but nonetheless, the worries will be that what next in Afghanistan, what will be the government there, and in a sense, what has happened is something which is without any bloodshed, because 90s saw the bloodshed there. We saw Najibullah, who was publicly hanged by the Taliban in 90s, but this time, of course, we have seen that the transition, what is happening even as we speak, hasn't been bloody, which is a very positive news for the global community. But the next few hours will in fact define or tell the details on what exactly is happening on the ground, because there is also worry about people in Kabul, especially foreign journalists, that they might be targeted in the ensuing confusion in the city.
Stay with me, Siddhant. Also getting in the latest updates from our correspondent Anas Malik, who's been in Afghanistan over the last few weeks, has been tracking all those developments and speaking to the locals on the ground as well. Over the last few hours, Anas, we've been talking about how things have spiraled out of control, first with the Taliban terrorists inching closer towards Kabul city and waiting on the doors of the capital city and saying that they want a peaceful transition of power. And in the latest, Ashraf Ghani has now left Afghanistan. This has all happened way too fast and a lot swifter than was anticipated.
Well, if I was to sum up the past 20 days of being here, it's more like a dream. It's or rather waking up to a dream to it, because you can't really separate fact from fiction. It's like it's surreal, to be fair, because you can't understand what is truth and what is fiction. On one hand there is a claim, on the other hand there's a counter claim. Then there are advances, then there are commitments, the reinforced commitments, meetings, flying in, flying out. This is how I can put down the past 20 days. President Ashraf Ghani has left the country. This has been confirmed by Afghan High Council for Peace, the chairperson for the Afghan High Council for Peace, Abdullah, in a live Facebook video. He said that, and I quote, that the former president of Afghanistan has left the country. May God help him, hold him accountable for what he did. We saw a tweet from General Bismillah Mohammadi in Darri, where he has criticized President Ashraf Ghani, and he said that the rich has bagged and he has done a deal and fled. This is what General Bismillah Mohammadi has tweeted the Afghan defense minister, the same General Bismillah Mohammadi with whom 2 days ago, just this stop, which is called the Kabul Tapa, where the two were together, they were recording a video message to reinforce commitment that they would not be giving up on the country, come what may. I can confirm that President Ashraf Ghani has indeed left for Tajikistan. A senior Interior Ministry official, on the condition of anonymity, has confirmed that President Ashraf Ghani is heading to Tajikistan. They will not be divulging into details for now due to security reasons. It is still unclear whether or not he has resigned, but going by what Dr. Abdullah has said, it gives the semblance or hints that President Ashraf Ghani might just have resigned before leaving for Tajikistan. Additionally, what I can confirm through sources within the Taliban and within the negotiation teams, that there is the talks for a peaceful transition of power. It is currently ongoing. There were two names that were circulated. Both of them have been shot down for the fact that they left abroad. They still live abroad rather. So that were not acceptable to the Taliban, and the Taliban believe that in case if they get a third person from who has been residing abroad, then that undoes their whole effort. So that is the reason there is still talks or negotiations that are ongoing. It has entered the final phase, and we might just see a name being coined or by the Taliban as somebody to lead the interim government. As and when that is finalized, our sources, and we would be reporting it, we've been on top of it. But if I talk to you the mood here in Kabul, and if I talk to you the country in the past 20 days, this is not my first time here. I've been here in and out. I've been coming here for the past 5 years. I've been meeting the Afghan Defense Security Forces, the Afghan National Army officials, government officials, members from the opposition, members from the parliament. This time, it had an altogether renewed and a different zeal and enthusiasm. The soldiers that I met, they were ready to fight, and I will give you an example of what happened in Lashkar Gah. They fought bravely and valiantly for 11 days. hoping that support, that reinforcement and support would be sent from Kabul, but it never made it to Lashkar Gah, and eventually we saw the fall of Lashkar Gah on the 11th day after the Taliban rammed a Hummer vehicle full of explosives. So by and large, there is a general feel of being let down, a general sense of being disappointment at the hands of the political administration, not at the hands of those who were in the field. And I say this while having interacted with the foot soldiers. Molly?
Right, Anas, Malik and Sadhan Sibil, we're leaving it there for the moment, but that remains our continuing focus right here on WION World is One. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.